tell us when you had your liver transplant, how it's been since, how you doing, just so we know. You're a recipient, just so we know you're alive and well.
Okay. Yeah, basically, I'm a fitness promoter, and I was going for my bi-yearly checkup. In '92, I found out that I had terminal liver disease just out of the blue. And they told me I only had a couple of years left unless I got a liver transplant. Then I got welcomed to the world of organ transplants. Found out that Canada had the lowest rate. Things looked really grim. I was finally put on the waiting list in '94, and I only had a few months left to live. And it really came down to a wire. In '95, I had like 2 days left to live, and just by a miracle, an organ became available. My life was saved, and on that day there was 5 other lives that were saved. So there were 6 of us that were saved from one decision. I was out of the hospital in a couple of weeks. I was back in the gym training, and I haven't looked back since. It's been 10 years now, and I look back like I never felt better in my life, except I might have lost my mind. But it's been great, and we have a cure in our hands. I'm not the only case like this. 99% of the other recipients share the same healthy, active life as a result of receiving transplants. We have a cure. It's within our grasp. That's why we're marching again across Canada, and that's why we need the students to really get involved in this issue.
How did you become an organ donor?
In the province of Nova Scotia, we presently have the driver's license. So when you go get your driver's license, they give you a card there to register, and you show your wishes on the card. What we're trying to do, as we're doing in every province, is expand that. We're trying to make organ cards available in all shapes, forms, and sizes, from having them available at all visible stores and health cards and schools. This is where the schools can take a really big initiative with the school boards to have them available at the schools. And we're also trying to improve the system as well. Basically, part of the problem why we have shortage is under our present system, which we're calling the pre-storage system, the family has to make the final consent before the organs become available. The problem with that is that when the family hears that they just lost somebody, they're in a very tragic state, and it takes very exceptional people to get that clarity to say yes when they're approached. Most families cannot, and they cannot say yes at that moment. Many organs are lost as a result of that. So what we're trying to do is improve that system, not put the burden just on the family, make sure that the individual's wish gets acknowledged. Other countries that improve the system are showing very high rates, and we're hoping that, Nova Scotia can do the same. Nova Scotia can take the lead. That's why we're hoping to meet Premier Ham in Halifax, so Kristopher can meet him and share his wish to him. And who knows, maybe Nova Scotia could be one of the first provinces.
Going to finish the walk if he has his operation? What's going to happen when you have your operation on the walk?
If it did happen on the walk, my brother would be out here finishing it, and if I get better and be able to walk, I'll come up and finish it together with my brother.
Well, first of all, Spain, 12 years ago, developed a system called presumed consent. Now, before they did that, the king, the president, all the government of Spain realized how important this issue was. And they did a massive awareness campaign and got consensus from all the Spaniards there. Developed a system where everybody was already registered as organ donors in their system, their data bank. And those that didn't want to be on this registry could take their names off. As a result of putting that system forward, they rose to the top in organ donations. They still have the highest rate in the whole world. In their country, there's hardly anyone that passes away that's on the waiting list. Since then, there have been close to a dozen other countries that have developed the same system. So we're not inventing the wheel here. You know, there's a system that proves that it works, and I know if Canada developed a similar system, Canada can rise to the top, and that's what we're aiming for.
Over here, George.
More questions, George?
One more?
Go over here.
Couple more.
Right in front, down.
Yep.
Yep.
We are going to.
Andy Ganesh.
What?
Andy Ganesh.
Ain't gonna know that. Antigonish. And Glasgow. And then Halifax. And then what? Yarmouth. And then Yarmouth. Okay. Next. So on and so forth.
Last question.
Way up top, back.
Back? Yeah.
Why do you think our country is so reluctant, or are they, to go ahead with today? I'm just wondering, does that not have a great effect on the ability of the medical system to be able to give all these transplants? Is that not an issue?
Great question. I love that woman. That is such an important question. Now, right now, the question that she asked was, why hasn't Canada as a country started acting on this if it's so successful in other countries? Like, what are the barriers? What's stopping from this happening? Okay, I'll tell you what's stopping from happening, or why this hasn't caught on yet. Apparently, there needs to be enough voices right across Canada to let our federal government, as well as provincial governments, to let them know that this is a very, very important issue, that there's 4,000 Canadians that are at stake, whose lives can be saved, and they have to realize that they have to give it that kind of attention, and then start the ball rolling on making the changes. Once we get to that point where we can get their attention and let them take the steps in putting together a private members bill, get the support, and all that process, then we can start the ball rolling in making this issue that important. The barriers right now is that we don't have a mindset throughout the country about organ and tissue donation. We need to popularize it, and we need to do it in local communities. That's where it all starts. From local communities, it starts going through the province and then right across the country. So that's why we're trying to do our